The relationship between Iran and Israel might seem defined by conflict today, but it wasn't always this way. In the years following Israel's creation in 1948, the two nations shared surprisingly cordial ties. Iran, under the Shah's rule, viewed Israel as a bulwark against Soviet influence in the Middle East. This led to cooperation in various fields, including trade, intelligence sharing, and even military collaboration. Israel saw Iran as a valuable partner in a hostile region. The Shah's secular regime provided a counterpoint to the rising tide of Arab nationalism. However, this alliance ignored deep-seated religious and ideological differences. The Iranian public, largely opposed to the Shah's pro-Western policies, harbored growing resentment towards Israel. The overthrow of the Shah in 1979 dramatically altered the geopolitical landscape, setting the stage for the decades-long confrontation that continues to this day. The Islamic Revolution in Iran in 1979 marked a seismic shift in the Middle East. Ayatollah Khomeini, the revolution's leader, made his opposition to Israel a cornerstone of his ideology. He viewed Israel as an illegitimate state, a Western implant in the heart of the Muslim world. This stance quickly translated into a complete severing of ties with Israel. The new Islamic Republic withdrew its recognition of Israel and declared its support for the Palestinian cause. Iran became a vocal critic of Israel on the international stage, actively supporting Palestinian militant groups. The hostage crisis at the US Embassy in Tehran further exacerbated tensions. The United States, a staunch ally of Israel, found itself at loggerheads with Iran. This created a complex web of alliances and rivalries that fueled instability in the region. Even amidst regional turmoil, Iran's commitment to confronting Israel never wavered. One of the most significant developments post-Iranian Revolution was the rise of Hezbollah in Lebanon. Formed in the early 1980s with Iranian support, Hezbollah emerged as a formidable force in Lebanon's political landscape. The group, composed primarily of Shiite Muslims, shared Iran's ideological opposition to Israel. Hezbollah evolved from a militia into a powerful political and military organization. It established a presence in southern Lebanon, launching attacks on Israeli targets. Iran provided Hezbollah with extensive support, enabling it to sustain its operations against Israel. Israel viewed Hezbollah as a direct threat to its security. The group's arsenal of rockets and missiles raised serious concerns. Hezbollah's emergence as a proxy for Iran added a dangerous new dimension to the conflict. Beyond traditional warfare, the conflict between Iran and Israel has increasingly spilled over into the cyber realm. Both countries possess sophisticated cyber capabilities, targeting each other's critical infrastructure. The Stuxnet virus, discovered in 2010, was a watershed moment in this cyber conflict. Believed to be developed by the US and Israel, Stuxnet sabotaged Iran's nuclear program. The attack demonstrated the potential for cyber warfare to inflict real-world damage. This shadow war continues, with both countries accusing each other of regular cyber attacks. Iran's nuclear program has been a major source of tension and instability in the Middle East for over 2 decades. Israel views Iran's nuclear ambitions as an existential threat. Iran maintains that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes only. Despite Iran's insistence, the international community has serious concerns about potential military dimensions. The IAEA has issued numerous reports highlighting inconsistencies in Iran's declarations. These concerns have led to the imposition of crippling international sanctions. Despite economic pressure, Iran has continued to develop its nuclear capabilities. The possibility of Iran acquiring nuclear weapons remains a major concern for Israel and the international community. The Gaza Strip, controlled by Hamas, has become another flashpoint in the conflict between Israel and Iran. Hamas, like Hezbollah, views Israel as an enemy and seeks its destruction. Iran has provided Hamas with financial aid, weapons, and training. The Israel-Gaza conflict has resulted in numerous rounds of intense fighting. The humanitarian situation in Gaza is dire, with a collapsing economy and a chronic shortage of essential goods. Iran's support for Hamas has further complicated the situation. Israel accuses Iran of using Gaza as a testing ground for its weapons and tactics. The lack of a political solution and continued violence exacerbate tensions. The Middle East has undergone dramatic transformations in recent years, with the emergence of new power centers and the realignment of alliances. The Arab Spring, the rise of ISIS, the Syrian civil war, and the conflict in Yemen have all contributed to regional turmoil. These conflicts have drawn in regional and global powers, creating a complex web of alliances and rivalries. In this fluid environment, the rivalry between Iran and Israel has taken on new dimensions. The Abraham Accords, signed in 2020, normalized relations between Israel and several Arab states. These agreements, driven by shared concerns about Iran's influence, have reshaped the regional landscape. Iran has condemned the agreements as a betrayal of the Palestinian cause. The long-term implications of these shifting alliances remain to be seen. The United States has been a steadfast ally of Israel since its founding, providing significant military, economic, and diplomatic support. The US considers Israel a vital strategic partner in the Middle East and shares its concerns about Iran's regional ambitions and nuclear program. The US has provided Israel with billions of dollars in military aid, helping it maintain a qualitative military edge. The two countries also cooperate closely on intelligence sharing and joint military exercises. The US has imposed sanctions on Iran and has pledged to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. However, the relationship between the US and Israel has not always been smooth. Differences over the Israeli-Palestinian peace process, settlement construction, and Iran policy have at times strained the relationship. The US has also engaged in diplomatic efforts with Iran, culminating in the 2015 nuclear deal known as the JCPOA. The JCPOA, negotiated by the Obama administration, lifted some sanctions on Iran in exchange for limits on its nuclear program. However, the Trump administration withdrew from the deal in 2018, arguing it did not go far enough in curbing Iran's nuclear ambitions. The Biden administration has expressed a willingness to rejoin the deal under certain conditions. Negotiations have stalled, reflecting the complex nature of the US-Israel-Iran relationship. The international community has repeatedly condemned the violence and called for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The United Nations has issued numerous resolutions calling for an end to hostilities and a resumption of negotiations. International organizations such as the European Union and the Arab League have also expressed their concern over the escalating situation. Global leaders have engaged in diplomatic efforts to mediate a ceasefire and facilitate dialogue. Despite these efforts, a lasting solution remains elusive. The complex nature of the conflict and deep-seated mistrust continue to hinder progress towards peace. The international community must speak with one voice and exert sustained pressure on all sides to choose the path of peace. The future of the conflict between Israel and Iran remains uncertain. The deep-rooted animosity, conflicting interests, and absence of trust make a lasting resolution unlikely in the near future. The situation is further complicated by volatile regional dynamics and shifting alliances. The potential for escalation remains a constant threat. The international community must continue to play an active role in promoting dialogue and preventing a wider war. A peaceful resolution is essential for the stability and prosperity of the entire region. This will require all sides to make difficult compromises. The recent normalization agreements between Israel and some Arab states offer a potential path towards regional reconciliation. However, a lasting peace will require addressing the Palestinian issue, which lies at the heart of the conflict. The road ahead is fraught with challenges, but the pursuit of peace must remain the ultimate goal.